Good morning students, welcome back to your online class. Today in this video I'll be showing you how to define a function in Python, and we'll also look into some of the data handling programs in Python. So let us begin the class. Let's begin the video students. See, I have opened the Python shell and I have opened the script mode here already, and I've written one program for you. Now you can see that here I have the first line is a comment which is showing the bare bones of Python program preceded by the hash symbol. Then I have again written defining a function, and I have given here the hash symbol. So now I have defined one function called as define ABC, and I have written print goodbye. Okay, then I came outside the function and I have written the line print I am Python programmer. Then I have written some calculation part here. I have done some calculation, and then here I am calling the function. So now what will be the output of this when I will run this program? First the control will go to this line. So this is a comment. Obviously this will not be executed. This is also a comment. It will not be executed. Then a function is defined and print goodbye is written. It is also not going to be executed because right now the function is not being called. Then it is written print I am Python programmer. So this is the first line of output which you will get. Then there is a calculation. A is equal to 5, b is equal to 6, print a plus b. Then I am going to get the answer 11, and then I have called the function abc. So the control will jump to the abc and then print goodbye. So let's see the output. Is it coming according to our expectation or not? Okay, I hope you can see that I am Python programmer. The line is executed first and then the number 11, and then it is written goodbye because we have called the function abc here. Now suppose if I call the function here only, you can call any time in anywhere in the program, so it will print goodbye twice. I will show you the changes. Now you can see here I am Python programmer. After that the function abc was called, so this is giving me the output goodbye, then 11, and then goodbye. So this is how it works. Now let me tell you some multiple assignment of the variable. So let us begin students. I have opened now the Python shell. So I'm going to show you in interactive mode that how we can do the assignment of the value to the variable. Now suppose we have written here a is equal to 5, and then I have written a to print a. So I'm getting the output as 5. Now suppose if I want to assign the same value to more than one variable, so I can write like this: a equals to b equals to c is equal to 6. Now if you will write here b, it will give you the output 6. If you will write a, it will give you 6, and if you will write c, it will again give you 6. So this is how the Python multiple assignment can be done to the variable. So now students, let us see a few more questions from Python. That we have to take the input from the user as their height in centimeters, and then we have to convert into the inches and feet. So you can see on the comment section I have already written that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches and 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeter. So we are going to take one variable wherein we will get the height entered by the user. So I am writing here cm as I have to store the height in centimeters, so I have taken the variable name as cm, and I am using here the data type as float because it can be possibility that we'll get the input in decimal form. So I have to write here the statement that enter your height in centimeters. Okay, so this is entered here. Now to find out in inches, as we can see that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So I am writing here inches is equal to 0.394. I have divided it, and one as we can see that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So to find out the inches, I have divided this 1 by 2.54. So I have got 0.394, and I'm multiplying it with the height of the user. So I'll get the height in inches, and now to find it in feet, what I'll do, I'm going to write the formula. I have 0.0328 into the centimeter. Okay, so now we will get this as 1 feet is equal to 12 inch and 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So again I'm dividing it, and we are going to get the answer. So let us print this statement and see what is the output. Print height in inches is equal to comma. I have written the variable name so that the answer should be concatenated with this, and I am writing here, and feet is equal to comma feet. So let's execute the program and see the output now. Okay, so I'm entering the height in centimeters, like 50 centimeters. So let's see. Okay, I have got that 1.64 feet and 19.7 inches. If you want, you can get it executed one more time if you want to check yours. So let me enter some other value, 170. So you can see 5.5 feet approx, and then 66.98 inches. So this is how, students, you can find out the height in inches and feet. Students, let us see the program to find out the simple interest. So I have written here in the comment section that simple interest I am going to find out. I am going to take three variables for taking the input from the user as principal, rate and time. So what will be the data type here? As earlier we were taking integer value, we were converting the string to integer. As Python takes input as a string, so we have to convert it whenever we want to do any kind of calculation. So earlier we were doing the calculation in a whole number, so I have taken the int. Now the answer can come in fraction form, because here the formula of simple interest is p into r into t by 100. So I am going to take the floating point literal, which is the float data type, and I will use the raw input function because it takes the input as a string, and then the input as a string will be converted to float data type. Now I am going to write here that enter the amount of principal. Okay, and then here I am going to write, I have copied it because it will save our time. Enter the rate of interest, and then going to write enter the years. So I am going to now take the value as SI, which is going to I am going to take the variable SI, which will calculate the simple interest. So I am writing the formula here, P into R into T. Going to divide, keep it inside the bracket, divided by 100. Okay. Now I will print here, print simple interest is equal to, so this will be printed as it is written in double quote. After writing the comma, I am writing the variable name SI, so it will take the output, the calculation part, whatever the answer will be, it will be added to this string which is written over here. Now let us save the program and run it. Okay, now I have to enter the amount of principal. So let me enter, suppose I have entered 12,000. The rate of interest, suppose I have entered 6.5, and the years, suppose I have entered 6 years. So you can see the output has come here, simple interest is equal to 4680.0. Okay, so this is how you can find out the simple interest when the number of principal rate and year is entered, the time is entered by the user. Okay, moving forward to the next program, I want to show you that how you can find out or how you can convert the number of seconds entered by the user to the minutes and the second. So what we need to do, just we need to divide it and store the, you can say, the quotient and the remainder when we will divide it by 60, because 60 seconds makes a minute and 60 minutes makes an hour. So let's begin. I have used here the seconds variable to store the number of seconds entered by the user. Now I have written the input line here. Now what I'll do, to store the answer of minutes, I'm taking the another variable which is minutes, min. So I will write here minutes, and then I will divide the number of seconds by 60. Students, here I am using this floor division operator. Reason being because it is going to give me the answer in integer, because it is also known as integer division operator. So I want the int value in minutes. That is why I am writing here floor division. Okay, so now to store these seconds, I will use the mod operator, and mod operator is going to give me the remainder. So the remaining seconds will be stored in the second variable. Okay, so let us take the another variable, which is second, sec, and I am going to write here seconds mod 60. So it will store it is going to give us the remainder. Now we will write the print statement to print the seconds in minute and second. So let us write the print statement here. So use the print statement to print it. Whatever format you like, you can print it like that only. I am using here print, and then I am writing like this: minutes equals to minute, and then seconds is equal to second. So this is how we can print it. Now let us execute the program. Okay, so I have saved the file and executing it. You can write any name for storing the file. Okay, so suppose I'm entering here 200 seconds, so the output is 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So this is how, students, you can do the programming of this question. I'm going to show you a very simple program wherein I will ask the user to input two numbers, and I will do the following arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, floor division, and modulus. So let us begin with it. Now first line I am going to write in comment that arithmetic operations. Alright, so now we need two numbers from the user. So let us take the variable as num1 and num2. So in num1 I'll ask the user to enter the number. So I want the number in integer or float, whatever data type you want you can define. If you will define integer, then it will give you only the integer part as the output, no fractional part will be included. So let us write float only so that we can get the exact answer. So I've written the data type. Now I'm using the input function, and then I'll write here enter first number. You can write any statement whatever you like. Alright, here we have to write raw input because we want to as Python takes the input as a string. So this is a raw input function which takes the input as a string, and now as I have defined float, so it will be converted to the floating point number. But if you are using Python 3.7 or any of the version of Python 3, then you don't have to use this. You just use the input method and the number will be inputted. Now I'll take another variable, that is num2, and let us copy the statement, and I'll change the details here. I'll write here second number. So two numbers are inputted now in num1 and num2. Now to perform the basic arithmetic operation, I'm taking a variable sum to sum both the numbers. So for adding both the numbers, we have the plus arithmetic operator, and I have added both the variables wherein I am going to take the input from the user. So this num1 is going to take the input from the user, and the second input will be stored in num2. So now the answer of num1 and num2, when we add both, it is stored in sum. Now I'm taking another variable, that is for subtraction. I'm writing here num1 minus num2, and then for division I'm writing num1 divided by num2. Same way you can do floor division also. For mod I am writing here num1 mod sign and then num2. For floor division, let us write FLR, floor division, and then num1 floor division operator num2. Alright, so addition, subtraction, division, floor division, and mod. Multiplication is left. Let us do that also. So multiplication num1 into num2. So now it's time to print the statement, because this is the input statement where the input will be stored. These are the calculation part. Now we will write here the statement for printing. So print. Now let us write here basic arithmetic operations. I have written this will be printed as it is because I have written in double quote. Now I'll write here print okay, sum equals to, this will be printed as it is, and the value of the sum will be taken from the variable sum. Alright, why this sum is highlighted? Because this is a reserve keyword. Let me take the variable su for sum, otherwise it is going to give me the error. Alright, so I will copy this line for printing and I will change the things here. For subtraction, I am writing here subtraction and the variable is sub, so that will be concatenated with the output. For division, I am writing suppose division only, and from where the output will be taken, from the div variable, because in div only I am dividing the two values. And then for the suppose modulus operator, I am going to take the value from the mod, and then for floor division I will take the output from the FLRDIV. So this is the variable name. And for multiplication, again multiply, let's write multiply, and the variable is MULT. So this is how my simple calculator or some basic arithmetic operation program is done. Now I am going to execute the program. So you will save the program. You can go and save the program from file menu as well, save it and then go and run it with the help of F5 function key or from the run menu. Or if you have not saved, even if you directly click on run module, it will ask you to save the program, so you have to save it. I have saved, and now you can see that on the screen we are getting the statement that enter the first number. Let me write here 500. Enter the second number. I am writing here 5. So you can see here basic arithmetic operations, it is printed as it is. Now I'll show you both the screens together. You can see here that basic arithmetic operations is printed. Now sum, it has been added. I'm getting the answer in float because I've used the float data type here. So 505 is the output, 0.0 is given because the answer is in float. Then after subtracting, I am getting the answer division modulus. Why in mod I am getting 0? Because mod only stores the remainder. So when you divide 500 by 5, the remainder will be 0. Floor division, it gives the output as the integer division, and multiplication, it has been multiplied. So this is how a simple program can be written. Just the basic things you need to note down, that is you have to write the programs from the left side. Alright, that's all for today, students. Go through the video properly. In case of any problem, mail me, and stay safe and happy. Thank you so much.